Hello everyone, my name is Sarafi and I'm happy to meet you all, and today I'm going to share a quick teaser for my new Swordsoul Tenyi deck that I'm making. I think this deck is actually really powerful. I'm already platinum with it, even though I just started playing the deck about 3 hours ago. And I think the deck is going to be very good, so I'm going to try and get to Diamond with it tonight so that I can potentially stream it tomorrow. I actually would like to get Master on stream with this deck so that you guys can see how good it is against the current meta. So, let's take a look and see what we're going to be doing. Here is an excellent example of how this deck can completely dominate and destroy our opponent. We're playing against Branded. So we're going first. We activate Tenyi Infinity to start with to add Vessel for the Dragon Cycle. Then we're going to normal summon Swordsoul of Mo-Yi. When Swordsoul of Mo-Yi is normal summon, you can reveal one Swordsoul card or one weird monster in your hand to special summon a water token that's level 4. That token is a tuner monster, but it synchro locks you as long as it's on the board. We reveal Swordsoul Strategist Long Yan, summon our token, and we'll synchro into our level 8. The level 8 we choose is Swordsoul Grandmaster Chi-Xiao. Chi-Xiao's effect activates, we get to draw a Swordsoul card, and then we're going to chain block with our Mo-Yi. So we draw Ash off the top, and then we're going to add Swordsoul Emergence from our deck to our hand. Now we'll activate Swordsoul Emergence, and we're going to add a weird monster from our deck to our hand, and the monster we're going to choose is Tenyi Spirit Tsuruya. Then we'll activate Tsuruya's effect to special summon itself, and then we can link it off into our Monk of the Tenyi. That gives us a normal monster, or a non-effect monster, so that we can activate Vessel for the Dragon Cycle. So now we're going to send a Ashuna from deck to the graveyard to add another Tsuruya from our deck to our hand. Then we activate Swordsoul Strategist Long Yan's effect, and we're going to discard the Tsuruya we just drew to special summon it. And now we're going to get Nibiru. The reason why we went into the Long Yan play there was because we were trying to make Barome before we used Ashuna's effect to, and that would have Wyrm locked us. Alright, so Nibiru the Primal Being. That happens a lot. But here's the thing. Unlike most decks, we actually benefit from this Primal Being token because all of our cards interact with non-effect monsters. That includes tokens. So even though our opponent has ripped our entire board to shreds, we've already used our normal summon, we can now activate the effect of the Ashuna from our graveyard to special summon a monster from our deck. We special summon our Tenyi Spirit Adhara, and then we're going to use Tenyi Infinity's effect, tribute a Wyrm monster to destroy a card on our opponent's field. So we're going to pop their Nibiru the Primal Being. Next, we banish 3 monsters from our graveyard. We banish Tenyi Spirit Tsuruya, Monk of the Tenyi, and Swordsoul of Mo-Yi. Each of these has a different attribute, water, earth, and light, to special summon Arch Nemesis Protos. Now, this is a Wyrm monster, and this is typically our search target for our Swordsoul Emergence. So even though we technically open this card in our hand, the combo would have been exactly the same if this was any other Wyrm monster. Because essentially all we did was we traded the Swordsoul Emergence for a Wyrm monster we could discard for Long Yan. So if we had not opened Protos, we would have just played Swordsoul Emergence, drawn Protos with that. So we special summon Protos at the end of our combo. We activate Protos' effect. You can declare 1 monster attribute on the field, destroy all monsters on the field with that attribute. Also, until the end of the next turn, neither player can special summon monsters with that attribute. So, we are going to declare Dark. Now, Arch Nemesis Protos cannot be destroyed by card effects, and that includes your own card effects. So you declare Dark. Arch Nemesis Protos destroys all dark monsters on the field, which would include itself, but it can't be destroyed. You pass. Your opponent cannot summon any dark monsters. We'll activate Adhara's effect to add Mo-Yi back to our hand for next turn, and we pass. At the end of the turn, we activate the effect of Tenyi Infinity. Once per turn during your end phase, you can send this card from your field to the graveyard. If you do, place 1 Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi from your deck or graveyard face up in your field zone. And Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi states, all non-effect monsters on the field are unaffected by monster effects, and once per turn, if your opponent special summons an effect monster while you control a face-down monster or a non-effect monster, you can draw 2 cards. So this makes the Primal Being token actually extremely dangerous. This is a 5,000 attack, 3,300 defense monster. It cannot be negated because it's not an effect monster. And now it's unaffected by monster effects. So if my opponent cannot destroy this monster in battle, it's going to beat the living hell out of them. So let's see what happens. It's our opponent's turn. We're going to activate Max C. They are going to start things off by normal summoning their Blazing Cartesia the Virtuous. Then they activate Blazing Cartesia the Virtuous's effect. During your main phase, you can fusion someone with level 8 or higher fusion monster from your extract using monster from your hand or field as fusion material. They have Blazing Cartesia and Shaddoll Hedgehog in their hand. Most likely, they were going to try... Actually, I'm not really sure why they didn't summon Shaddoll Construct here. Let me see. Is there a reason for that? El Shaddoll Construct is a light fairy monster that is level 8. I do not know why they didn't summon Construct here. Whatever. So they make Grand Guignol instead. We draw a card. Grand Guignol effect is a Chain Link 1. Shaddoll Hedgehog is a Chain Link 2. Since they're chain blocking Grand Guignol, I can't ash it, so I'm just going to draw 2 cards off of Flawless Perfection since they summoned a monster. So now I have 5 cards in my hand. It's fantastic. They're going to add Squamata, and then they're going to mill El Shaddoll Apclone. El Shaddoll Apclone adds the Shaddoll Schism from deck to hand, then pitches the Squamata effect, mill a different monster, mill the Dragon, and... Dragon, when it's sent to the graveyard, can destroy a spell or a trap, so they destroy the Flawless Perfection so they can make the Primal Being token affected again. Then they're going to Synchro Summon into Despian Lulu Walilith, which is a light monster, but only has 2,500 attack points. It can't beat over either of our monsters. Finally, they activate Bestial Lubellion. We ash it. So they can't search their Bestial monster. Set 1 and pass. Now, of course, the set card is Shaddoll Schism. We know this. Shaddoll Schism can't be activated except during the main phase, which means we have priority. So we will force out the Shaddoll Schism with our very first action by activating Arch Nemesis Protoss and calling Dark. Our opponent wants to summon their El Shaddoll Winda, so they're going to have to respond to this by immediately summoning it, which is great for us. Winda comes down, and that sends Protoss to the graveyard, but now we destroy all dark monsters. Winda also cannot be destroyed by card effects, so that doesn't work. That works out for him. Then he'll activate Despian Lulu Walilith's effect to raise his monster's attack points. That does require that he negates the effects of one card on the field. I don't know why he didn't negate Schism, since Schism has already been used, but he negated his own card, so that's fine. Can't negate Primal Being Token, of course, because it doesn't have any effects. Now, since we control a non-effect monster, we're just going to activate Vishuda's effect from our hand, banish it, return Winda to the hand, and now we just normal summon and start our turn, and our opponent has absolutely nothing. Unsurprising, they're playing Shaddolls, which is or they're playing Branded, which is a dark and light deck, along with Shaddolls, which are all dark, and dark locking them throughout their entire turn completely ruined their strategy. Not only that, they had to deal with a 5,000 attack 300 defense point monster that they couldn't affect with monster effects until they managed to mill through their deck for their 1 MST. So this is the power of Swordsoul Tenyi. And all these cards have been in the game for a while, to be fair. This is something that you could have done for, the last year or so. But the new cards make the deck a little bit more resilient to hand traps, and they give you a little bit of extra extension, which I think is going to be enough to make the deck really, really strong. So look forward to the videos. My name is Seraphia, and I was happy to have you all with me.